Today is December 2nd and it is day 2 of completing the square. Today we're completing the square when a is greater than 1, so we're going to have a coefficient in the front that is not a 1, so it's not just going to look like x squared plus something something. It's going to be like in our examples here where we have 2x squared, 3x squared, 5x squared. So there is going to be a coefficient greater than 1. But it will be generally the same process as before. So the first thing we want to do is remove that coefficient by factoring it out. So I can divide everything by 2, and I get x squared minus 10x, same process, plus something. And that equals, I'm dividing by 2, so 2 is outside, 4 plus something. So inside the parentheses, it's looking exactly like it did yesterday, but on the outside, we're taking out whatever factor we are removing, which will be the first coefficient, so 2. Then we're going to work the same way as we did yesterday, so I'm going to divide by 2, and here I get minus 5 squared, square it, put it up here, 25, and then square it on this right side. Don't forget the 2. And then 4 plus 25 is 29. So we have 2x minus 5 squared equals 58. And then just like yesterday, I'm going to move that 58 over to the other side. So I have 2x minus 5 squared minus 58 is equal to 0. And that is my quadratic rewritten with a perfect square. We'll do the same thing on number 2, except this time we're going to be removing a 3. So normally I would say we would want to make these equal 0, but since we saw yesterday that we were going to move that c value to the left, to the right anyway, I'm just going to leave that c value on the right where it is. So we're going to remove that 3, x squared minus 8x plus something equals, we're removing a 3 again, so 9 plus that same something. Bring the 3 down. X minus b over 2. So 8 over 2 is 4. And I say minus on these because that value here is being subtracted. And it is the same on number 1 where we had minus 20x. So just take the sign from the problem into your parentheses. Then we're going to square that, so 16. Whatever's on the left we do on the right as well. So 3 times 9 plus 16, which is 25. So we have 3x minus 4 squared equals 3 times 25 is 75. And then just like yesterday, I'm going to move that 75 over. So 3 times x minus 4 squared minus 75 equals 0. So be careful when you're moving it to the other side, make sure that you're changing its sign. If it helps you to write minus 75 on both sides, then go ahead and do that. Whatever you need to do to be successful. Now on number 3 and 4, we have a c value on the left and we have a number on the right. So I'm going to move that c value to the other side. So I have 2x squared minus 8x equals negative 21 minus 17. It's negative 38. And then I'm going to factor out that 2. I get x squared minus 4x plus something equals 2 times negative 38 divided by 2 is negative 19 plus that same something. And then we'll do the completing the square process. So I'm going to bring down that 2. x minus 4 divided by 2 is 2, squared is 4. Then on the right side we have 2 times negative 19 plus 4, which is negative 15. So 2 times x minus 2 squared is equal to negative 30. And then to write my answer, I'll move that negative 30 over by changing its sign. So we have 2 x minus 2 squared plus 30 equals 0. Again, if it helps you to write plus 30, in order to know that you have to change its sign, then go ahead and do that. And then the last example that we have, number 4, we have 5x squared minus 10x plus 3 equals negative 32. So I want the coefficient on, not the coefficient, I want the constant, the 3, to be on the same side as that negative 32. So I'm going to subtract 3. I have 5x squared minus 10x equals negative 35. So I'm going to factor out a 5. I get x squared minus, oops, should be a 2, sorry, 2x plus something equals 5 times negative 7 plus something. So I factored out that 5 on both the left and the right. Bring down the 5. X minus 2 divided by 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1, sorry, got ahead of myself. So we get 1 in the parentheses, square it, and put it in both those blanks. So we have 5 times negative 7 plus 1, which is negative 6. 5 times x minus 1 squared is equal to negative 30. And then we're going to add 30 to both sides. So we have 5x minus 1 squared plus 30 is equal to 0. So we can do a lot of things with completing the square. We can solve, we can convert, and then we can use it in other ways as a step in other problems. But this is just the beginning of completing the square, and then when we have a greater than 1. So on the homework you only have 6 problems, so again I'll probably post the answers to only 2 of them, so that way you have a good amount of practice to get in, but you can also check your answers, make sure that you're doing them correctly. So be sure to watch that, and then we'll see you tomorrow.